floor, full power, rudder. Okay, airspeed's alive. 60. Rotate. Yep. I guess I can also grab departure as well. So pretty much last time we checked, about 250 is going to get you pretty much across the runway there. Yeah, we're gonna either find this row or the highway. It's gonna pretty much into 210 into the wind. Wanna just feel that direct headwind and tailwind, how it feels like when you're up there. Let's see. Like even here, you can tell the wind are pushing out to the right? Yeah, so that's pretty much apparent. Usually you want to do this exercise in like higher wind today. Yeah, but just go towards the intersection there. You can turn towards the road, and then if you want, you can slow us down to around, I think around 2,000 RPM and 20-degree flaps when you fly over there. And then I'll set up the timer. We'll do speed illusion first. So pretty much we're gonna feel we're traveling really slow because of the headwind. Our ground speed is really slow actually. But I'm just gonna measure the time and see like what the difference it does pretty much. 2,000 and then just stay at 25 is good. Yeah, right now it's another illusion. So we're simulating pretty much from base to final, if that makes sense. Yeah. So in that case, we're going to make you turn earlier, a little bit more steeper, just because you don't get drifted away when it comes from that way. Well, earlier and steeper. Yeah. That's pretty much from base to final. Yep. Just keep at 25. You're going to feel like you're flying really slow. If you want, you can add maybe 20-degree flaps in. You can already tell right now we're not really moving, right? Yeah. Even with the flaps, you're gonna travel even slower. That's a speed illusion. There we go. We'll just keep at 80 here. Then I'll use this road intersection here, and then we're traveling towards the bend there. I'll start the timer. Just keep flying here for now. Until pretty much 30 knots headwind today, so we're traveling at 70, so they even give us like 40 knots, pretty much like that. Then we're gonna travel really slow. And then once we head towards there, we can do a turn back. This would make for a really long, crappy pretty much. Yeah, it's gonna be, like I said. But it's usually both way, right? If you're going there really slow, you're gonna come back really fast. It's just kind of like a trade-off, yeah. Sometimes like this, if you're doing like your long cross country. I guess if it's a nice day. Yeah. Right. It really depends on the upper wind too. Like sometimes you can climb up higher as the wind is a little lesser than that. That usually don't happen, but sometimes it is. Yeah, pretty strong wind today. Get a 12 part. Yeah, we'll just use that gravel pit there, and then we can turn around 180. I'll take the time there. You're gonna feel like I'm gonna predict that it's gonna be like at least like 1/3 faster than we have here. Okay, in this case, you're still traveling pretty, your ground speed is really slow, right? But that gives you the illusion you're traveling slow, but you're not actually doing that. You're still gonna stall at a certain speed. So if you're really trying to go, I mean, you're trying to go fast in this case, so that's okay. But in the other case, you're traveling really fast in terms of your ground speed. Just be more aware what actually the wind are doing to you, pretty much. Okay. Can turn around. Still 180, that's pretty much 2 minutes 15 seconds. Okay. And then we'll set the timer, see how does this tailwind affect to us. Again, it's really only apparent. Yeah, do 180. It's only apparent when it's we're flying pretty slow. We're up there, you can't really tell. Right. But that's pretty much what we're trying to simulate on the circuits, right? So circuits we're flying, still flying 2,000 feet. When I feel that, what the wind are actually going to do to you. And this turn is simulating from departure to crosswind, right? So we have a headwind coming in, and then the wind are gonna slowly crabbing in towards the tail, so it's kind of making me into the downwind again. Okay, now we're at downwind. Start the timer. And same C, you can feel like we're traveling much faster. That is the point.
50 county traffic, pressure 5.
We're still at the same speed. We can see pretty much we're
2 miles.
traveling way faster. In this case, if you're really already flying pretty slow, the risk is getting into a stall because you're feeling like we're really fast and then you're trying to pull back, trying to slow down. That can happen.
Traffic, Cherokee 90669 Charlie, about 6 miles to the southwest inbound for runway 28, Genesee County. And Genesee County traffic.
Just gonna stop the timer at the intersection of the road there.
500, we're just gonna fly past the field to get on that ILS. We'll be looking for you. Okay, 69 through 2600. We're inbound for pattern work.
This one.
We'll work out the spacing with you guys for your approaches. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, it's pretty much 1 minute, 4 seconds. We're using this road, so it's kind of like 30 seconds faster, right? So that's pretty much the illusion. Again, for turn, we'll also do some turn illusions. So pretty much right here, we're at downwind, right? And then if you want to turn around, so that tailwind suddenly becomes a headwind. So what do you think you're gonna do is your bank angle and then your speed, pretty much. So from a tailwind to headwind.
I'm gonna go not as steep, like a shallow turn, and kind of delay it a little bit.
Yeah, because the tailwinds are gonna push you towards that way, right? So pretty much, yeah. You can try that out. You can just try whatever we have. Try to fly like a kind of like a level circuit in a sense. Downwind to upwind.
I guess that'd be a steeper turn, right?
Yeah, what it do is it kind of push you out of the way, right? So pretty much steeper turn, and you could turn a little earlier in a sense is gonna help you because right now we're doing still like base to final, like downwind to base to final. So pretty much simulating that scenario. Yep, that's okay. We're just going back to that road again, and then okay. And then if you're going from departure to crosswind, again, you can kind of feel the effect already, so it doesn't really need too much. By more practice, you're going to feel that. Again, we're just simulating what we usually do in the circuits. They travel really slow again. Yeah, in this case, you're gonna climb to the downwind, gonna go a little bit more shallow because the wind are gonna kind of push you this way. It's gonna kind of assist you into making that turn. So you can start to turn later, and then shallower is gonna help you from upwind to crosswind or downwind.
So into the wind is steeper and sooner.
Yeah, downwind.
With the wind is shallow and later.
Pretty much the only mostly applicable is when we're in circuits, right? So let's say for today, the winner kind of pushing you, we're going departure leg. And then in this case, the winner going to push you towards that way anyway. So we're just going to start with a turn later and then a bit more shallower because the winner going to push you towards downwind pretty much. And then as we tell, we can already feel it on the base and final. We're kind of drifted away, right? In that case, you're going to start your turn early and then way more steeper. That's going to get you set up for the final a little bit more easier. Try the turn once again, and then we can head back. Okay, here it's good. Okay, so right now we're gonna transition from high wind to tailwind. So just start your turn a little later and more shallower because the wind are gonna push you into that direction anyways. So yeah, let's try that. Okay, just a shallow turn, and just think of it like a normal rectangular circuit. As long as you're flying that approach, making your adjustments in, and you should be well set it. There you go. You can already tell the winner pushing you, so just keep it here, should be fine. That was good, and then next one we're just gonna go from downwind to simulating that downwind to base to final turn. So we're just gonna start our turn a little early and then increase our bank angle because the wind are gonna push us away. Turn here if you like, just a little bit more bank angle, a little bit more steeper. There you go. Yeah, so in this case, we're just kind of fighting the wind for us to get back. In that other case, we're just kind of letting it flow. So that's the opposite way. That's good. A little bit more angle. Now we're set it. Okay, that makes sense? Okay, we can start to head back, and we can probably do maybe 2 more circuits. If the wind are consistent, we're pretty much gonna come in sideways. We're gonna do the crab, so that's normal. Just don't be shy with that left aileron because there we go. That's nice. Whatever helps you to get it back on center. Final flare. Just gonna be patient, pulling it off, adding back pressure gradually. Airspeed looks good. Yep, get that side step in, regular, that's good. Yep, looking good. Power to idle. Slowly bring it back, be more patient. And so eventually we're still drifting a little bit away, so that's why I'm telling you like a little bit more left later on is okay. Yeah. The landing itself wasn't too bad, like I said. But usually if you want to go a little bit more longer, a little bit more higher, nose up, getting that landing altitude is going to be a bit better, but that's okay.